Hi, my name is Eric Bohall, the president of Maricopa Juvenile Correction Association, an ASCOPS member, Local 7077. And today I would like to talk about the ADJC grievance policy and procedure. And at the end of the session, it is my hope, our hope, that you will become more familiar with the grievance policy. Things to know and highlights. Number one is you must have a mandatory one-on-one counseling session with your supervisor before submitting a grievance. Number two, if that's not successful in resolving the situation, then you are able to obtain a grievance control number from central office, from the grievance control liaison, if you will, which is Frank Delano. Number three, and I encourage you to take advantage of this step if you have to go that far, is that you have a maximum of 4 hours allotted to you to prepare and meet with your employee representative. 4 hours that are allocated to you to utilize. And right now there might not be overtime, but you know what? You can flex that 4 hours and there's nothing they can do about it. Also, you must be aware of timelines and guidelines. Documentation, the more the better. The more documentation that you have to back up your grievance gives you a huge advantage in your favor to win that grievance. And of course, you must precisely follow all steps in the grievance policy. Some of the more common grievable offenses, if you will, are suspensions of 40 hours or less, a letter of concern, also known as a memo of concern, and a letter of reprimand. Work-related issues, safety and health, non-compliance with ADOA personnel rules, discrimination in regards to religion, disability, race, national origin, sex, age, and color. Those are the official items that can be grieved. Two of the more common ones that are going to be grievable, or two of the more commonly things that are grieved in the agency, are suspensions of 40 hours or less, which typically are 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. And then of course the letter of reprimand. It's very important to know that letter of reprimands, once it's in your file and it's signed, sealed, and delivered, your personnel file becomes public record. It already is public record. So that means anybody can see it that wants to see it. All they have to do is put in a public records request. So it's very important that if you feel that you have a letter of reprimand that has no merit, it's very important that you write a grievance and have as much documentation as prudently possible, because that becomes part of your personnel file, and that is open for public records also. Keep in mind that there are several steps in the grievance policy. I will post that on the webpage underneath this video. You have step 1, step 2, and step 3, and step 4, and in rare and extreme cases, it can even be grieved to the ADOA director. Those are commonly referred to the ADOA director when it comes to discrimination. When you decided that you are ready to file a grievance, it's very important that you contact your union representative immediately so that we can help you right away. This allows us to help you every step of the way. The union representative will be your representative as an employee representative, if that makes sense. You are allowed to have an employee representative of your choice, so as long as they are available when you need them. Your union representative, if you so choose, can be your employee representative. Once that is established, you call downtown, talk to the grievance personnel, get your grievance control number. Your representative will help you get the grievance form, the official grievance form. You just can't write on a piece of paper. There's an official grievance form. And your union representative will help you prepare that grievance. We can't help you write it. We can't actually write it for you, but we can definitely assist you every step of the way. And then after that, it goes to step one. And step one is you submit your grievance and all your documentation to what they call the review authority. And in this case, in step one, that review authority would be your first line supervisor. Very important to know that you have 10 working days to submit that grievance and documentation to your first line supervisor. Weekends and holidays are not considered work days. Monday through Friday, I worked all night. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. are state work days. Once the first line supervisor receives the grievance, they have 10 work days to give a response. In all my times of doing grievances, they rarely ever respond. But yet if we don't respond, the grievance is dead. But if they don't respond, wow, what do you know? It goes automatically to step two. If it gets to the point where it's step two, and that's why I said it's very important to watch your time frames, because again, if you don't and time elapse, your grievance is dead. I had a grievance that ended up being shot down a few months ago because the member didn't submit the grievance and follow her guidelines appropriately. But once it gets to step two, you must submit it to your review authority, which if you work in safe schools, it's your superintendent. If you're a parole officer or work in central office, it would go to the assistant director. But once you make up your mind that you are ready to submit it, after the 10 days have elapsed in step one, you have 5 work days to submit that to your review authority in step two. At that point, step two review authority would have 10 work days. 10 work days to make a response to your grievance. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it's important to remember to follow and keep track of your guidelines, because if you don't, the grievance will be dead. If necessary, this is usually the third and final step, unless you're alleging discrimination, it would go to the ADJC director. If you are not satisfied with the if you're not satisfied with the step two process, then you go to step three. And again, you have 5 work days to give that to the review authority, which in this case is the ADJC director. And then they would have 10 work days to give you a decision on how they're going to proceed with the grievance. Very, very important. I can't stress it enough. Please keep track of your timelines, and most importantly, do not get discouraged, because the grievance policy is totally set up against us. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. But if we stay persistent, follow the guidelines, get your union rep involved, we can help you, and that gives you the best opportunity to win your grievance. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this message about the ADJC grievance policy and procedure. And like I said, underneath this video, you will see the policy and procedure reference number and all the other detailed information that you will need to know. Once again, thank you and have a good day.